And now, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the newest, sexiest podcast on YouTube, Pillow Talk with Erotic Kitty. And now, your hostess with the mostest, Erotic Kitty.
Pillow Talk. Pillow Talk.
And we are live.
Hey everyone, it's Kitty and welcome back to a new episode of Pillow Talk. And we have a very special guest with us today. We have our good buddy Sam. Say hi, Sam.
Hi.
Sam,
I'm very
yay,
special,
you're here.
huh?
Hey!
Damn right you're special.
As always,
Very special right now.
And Daddy and Dr. Earl be slipping in here through the back door. And right now,
Not my back door, I'm telling you that. Exit only, thank you very much.
yeah, we're going to be talking about called the Ducky syndrome today. And if any of you guys have seen the movie Pretty in Pink, you know who Ducky is. He's the little, the little best friend that gets stepped on because Molly has eyes for Andrew McCartney. So we're gonna, or McCarthy rather, we're gonna talk about what happens when that, when you get put in the friend zone and how people deal with it. Because I know, Sam, that you've got experience with that.
Oh, yes.
I know that I've had experience with it. What do you got about you guys? You guys have any experience with that?
Oh yeah, I've been there before. Yep. I think everybody has.
Yeah, I just, it's a rampant thing.
Mm-hmm.
But how did you handle it? Can I ask you that?
Are you asking the guys or me?
Yeah, I'm asking the guys first.
Okay.
You go first. You go first, Singer.
We've been married 25 years.
No, I'll say, but have you ever been put in the friend zone
Yeah.
by other people?
Yeah.
Work out.
And it did work out. Just took a little bit of time. And
Asking you is, have you ever been put on the friends list, friend zone,
And
or
kept there.
no.
I gotta say no on that one too.
You guys have never been put on the friends list at all.
Yeah.
Why? The only reason I'm asking is because it seems to be a rampant thing, or the end thing to do is if you're put on the friends list, you go on a rant on social media.
Oh, I've never done that before. I hate. You know how I feel about. You know how I feel about social media, Kitty.
Right. That's why I was asking, because I know it's different in our day than it is now.
Yeah.
What about you, Sam?
Have I ever been put in the friend zone?
I mean, I guess it's different for girls.
No. I've never been put in the friend zone.
Yeah, it's normally the girls that put in the friend zone for some reason.
You know what, Kitty? Give the definition about what it means for some people that don't know.
To be put in the friend zone?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
It's usually when you become good friends with somebody who's the opposite sex, and you may realize that they're unavailable, or what do they call it? Unavailable emotionally, which is a new term I have learned. But you usually develop feelings because you're around this person all the time, and you either do let them know about it and you crash and burn, or you don't say anything at all, but you realize that it's not ever going to happen, and you simmer and it boils over. And when they say no, I don't feel that way about you, or no, it cannot happen. I'd rather be your friend. That's the friend zone. It's the dreaded friend zone, which I don't see why that's so terrible to some people, because I figure, friends last longer than pieces of tail.
Yeah, honestly, I think friend zone could be a good thing for some people.
Right.
I don't see nothing wrong with it. Yeah, it may hurt a little bit, like if you like somebody, but they don't feel that way about you. But I mean, as long as you're not enemies, you can be friends. You never know what might happen in the future.
I would rather have somebody be my friend, where I know they're going to have, be there for me, because we all know that, friends last, girlfriends, boyfriends go by the wayside. How many times?
Yeah, and once you're a girlfriend or boyfriend, there's no going back to being friends.
No, there isn't. And there's got to be a reason why they say bros before hoes. You know what I mean? There's got to be a reason for that. But, go ahead, Sam. Tell us about what you have experienced with friends.
Oh, starting with my story? Really?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
You're back.
Huh?
You're back to this month ago.
Okay.
You can do it, Sam. You can do it. We got faith in you. Come on, everybody.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I had to say that.
You make me sing, George. You want to make me sing George Michael's Faith? Because you gotta have faith.
Let's talk about your Ducky.
Oh, my Ducky. And he was a sweetheart. He was one of the nice guys that we're talking about. Anyway.
Are we talking about the nice guy or the quote-unquote nice guy? Which one?
This is the quote-unquote nice guy. This is the nice guy. What did we call him? Yes. So it was a few months ago, and I met this guy online, so it was an online thing. And he's married. And so, you really can't have emotions like you could if you're with somebody who's not married, like those deep, deep love emotions.
Right.
And
unavailable.
oh, yes. It was the emotions run wild. And once they get going, that's it. There's no stopping them. It's like trying to stop a train. And so, yeah, it turned into him trying to call me his online wife, which was just creepy to me. Him and his wife got in a fight about me. He stopped talking to his wife and kept talking to me. So, yeah, he got put into the friend zone, told him that I couldn't see him anymore because of what was going on. And it's still not right. He cannot talk to me. He cannot converse with me. He can't do the normal things he wants to in life right now because he's so distraught being unable to have me, I guess.
Right.
And that is my story in a nutshell.
Yeah. And I was reading about this, and hi John, hi Alex. Bailey, I think we have an echo.
Yeah, we did for a few minutes, but I don't hear it anymore.
It probably is just YouTube and Skype, it's, the friend Zoom thing with the Skype and YouTube. They do that, it's just like that. But it is, the friend zone thing apparently is a big to-do, which I was not aware of. Apparently to girls it's not a big thing to be put into the friend zone, but for apparently some guys, the quote-unquote nice guys that we were talking about, it's, a terrible thing to be put into the friend zone. It's like
I think it's less likely for a woman to be put in the friend zone.
Well, yeah, because I mean, if you look at it, we have the, you know, we can carry on a platonic relationship with a guy.
Yeah.
But for some reason, guys can't do that. I think that is the reason for that.
Hold on, Kitty. Alex is saying that there's echo between you and Kitty. I mean, you and Sam, but no echo from me. I'm not sure about that.
Okay, my Skype is open, my YouTube's not open.
Okay. There shouldn't be echo because I
I
have
can't hear
mine.
any echo.
Right.
I haven't heard any echo.
Are you on the channel, Sanger? I mean, are you on the channel to hear how it sounds? To hear the sound?
I'm hearing Skype. I'm on YouTube, but I have it muted.
Oh, you have it muted? Okay.
I have YouTube muted. I'm hearing everything through Skype.
All right.
So how can we be on Skype and see the chat without there being an echo?
You go to YouTube and you just mute the
Yeah, you just mute the live stream.
Oh,
Yeah.
and then there won't be an echo.
There
So
won't
I
be
can
an
go
echo.
on there and see the chat.
Yeah, you can see the chat.
Okay, I was wondering how you guys saw the chat. I'm like, I can't get on YouTube because I know there's going to be an echo.
Yeah. As long as you mute the
That's what I
sound,
do.
you'll be okay. You can see everything that's going on, but you just can't hear it.
Okay.
And that's what that's what this article talks about is the quote unquote nice guy syndrome, where
Okay, I got it.
disclaimer that when we talk about the quote unquote nice guy, we're not talking about nice guys like John or Bailey, because you guys really are nice guys. We're talking about the ones that want to go to, they pretend to be the nice guy, all to get a payback.
I left that out of my story though because that was included in there. I forgot.
Hey, sorry for too late for it,
What's up, Adam?
That's what we're talking about today, is being in the friend zone. So you guys, in the chat, let me know if you've had any experience being like that. But a lot of this article that Sam and I were discussing before the show actually has a lot of truth to it.
It's like preaching the Bible.
It
is the word.
Yep.
The friend zone's not all bad. I mean, if you're not an asshole about it, you've got a link.
Exactly.
I never had any problem with it.
And it also depends on how far along things are. If you get this sorted out within really up front,
Yeah.
that's one thing. If the guy is thinking that, that over time he's invested in this relationship and he thinks it's going to lead somewhere, and all of a sudden she says no after 5 years or whatever, that's a completely different story.
Yeah, and for me, one of the choices was my choice to stay friends. I didn't want to ruin our friendship. I didn't want to. I was worried it would ruin it, between me and her, So I decided, we're going to stay friends, and hey, it worked out all right.
And I know why that is, because friends with benefits, that's the best type. But Bailey is a really nice guy. He's not the quote nice guy we're talking about.
Right. We're talking about the guys that know that, most women are very upfront with that. They will let you know, no, I'm not available. No, it cannot go outside the friend zone. And there are reasons for that. They may have somebody, they may be getting out of a relationship and they don't want to get back into one right now. And they do that. Hold on, Alex. I will get you in a minute. And they read it. Hi, Earl.
What's up? Yep, I just joined in a while ago.
Yeah. we're talking about the guys that actually go and want to be the hero. They know that the girl has this quote unquote bad guy for a boyfriend or so, and they want to be that comfort. They want to be that they want to be that shoulder to cry on. All with the payoff of maybe she will one day figure out that I'm the guy for her.
Yes, many guys have done that before.
I told my story. It was pretty good. I had a guy who thought he could help me with everything from my past, and he was my therapist, turned into a therapist. And yeah, he did so much for me, and how he was so disappointed in me when I broke things off. I am disappointed in you, Sam.
Oh, yeah.
My behavior.
They do. They have good intentions. They think they are doing it all for you, but it's not. And this guy actually says this and that. It would be really nice if that was the intent, but they're not doing it for you. They're not doing it for the girl. They're doing it for themselves. It's all of me within these things. And I don't know if you've noticed that, Sam. It's not about the girl. It's about...
No, it's usually not.
No, it's not. It's not about the girl. It's about them. And this
I
article...
don't see it that way.
Yeah, this article has really opened my eyes to everything, and when they do get the courage to say something to the girl, then they say, well, if they get shot down, then, what is the thing that they do, Sam?
They run. Now we know that.
Mm-hmm.
They run, they retaliate, or they stay and just take it. Take it and wallow in the misery. Yes.
Make your life miserable. Why? Because you ignored the nice guy. You used them for emotional intimacy without reciprocating. And I am quoting from this article, by the way. And where do they run to? So, these days now, it's social media. As this guy has said, that everybody, everybody loves, an internet circle jerk where all the guys commiserate.
Mm-hmm.
And what did they say? They've been betrayed by the crush.
Uh-huh.
I don't know why, but that's the way it is.
Yeah, I agree.
No, you guys aren't doing that, right? In my chat room?
No, they were talking about it. I had to bring it up. I'm sorry.
No. You guys are talking about the W word.
The dreaded WWE. I'm sorry, Kitty. I was just trying to find out real quickly about it.
I know.
Hey, Kitty.
You're
Alex
discussing wrestling?
I was talking.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
We're trying to talk about a topic. You guys Focus. Focus.
Well, yeah, Kitty. Alex keeps telling me there's echo. I don't know.
Echo. No.
I don't think there is.
Enzo's done, dude.
I'm gonna find out.
I don't really hear no echo right now, guys.
You got the.
I think there's a theory to that, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna rest. I digress. So.
Yeah.
Hey,
Adam and John, do you hear echo on the?
Turn the fucking feed on. You won't hear it.
what? Like trying to disrupt my show, huh?
I don't know. I mean, you know how Skype is and YouTube.
If you're listening to the
Well,
stream,
does anyone else hear an echo? Anyone else in
Nope,
chat?
I don't hear nothing.
Oh, Dr. Earl says he doesn't hear anything.
Nope, nothing.
But
You know, Alex, it could be your Bohemian Rhapsody internet.
it's a tactic.
Ask him if he's listening to both the. He's not on Skype, so never mind.
I heard Enzo was on there. Benjamin was
Well, no, he was done. Yeah, demoted.
Okay, I did,
That's
but
the-
you were fine, Bailey.
Yeah. See.
So Bailey doesn't have an echo. Do we have an echo? Does anyone have an echo right now?
Like I said, nothing here. Nothing.
I haven't heard an echo on this call at all.
Okay, so I can get
Okay,
back.
on we go. Yes.
Okay.
Hey,
See,
you're gonna read parts of this article, right?
yeah, I have been.
I want you to read like it word for word parts because there's some good parts in there.
What this guy's saying is the entire rant says exactly two things. How dare you like someone who isn't me? And you owe me for all the time and effort I put into you. Now, is that not what all the rants about the friends is about?
Well, I think I know the reason why we're getting echo. While you guys are talking, I'm gonna work on it over here.
Okay.
All right.
I mean, that is exactly the two basic things that guys, the quote unquote nice guys that we're talking about, that's the two things that they rant about. Is how dare she do that, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, they also rant about how angry they are and how betrayed they are and everything else. Alex said it's fixed now.
Right. And he goes on to say that, you know, it's not about her, you know. Sorry. And it's you want to
Testicle
control your
difficult.
testicles. You need control over that. Control over your testicles, please.
let me know when I can continue. You know? Let me know.
I want to hear. Let's keep going because this is interesting.
I'm trying to make this
Yep.
thing as smooth and as short as I can do it. You know? It says, how much do you want to wager that this quote unquote nice guy neglected to mention that the particular aspect of this friendship to his friend? You know? Which is, he goes, it's ironic that the nice guy complains about having been used by the object of his crush, considering that he all but admits that he was using her trust and affection for him as a means to try to fuck her. Now,
Mm-hmm.
does that not say exactly what the friend zone is all about? That's
Yeah,
usually
but it could be emotions and a feeling of love too. I don't think it always has to lead to fucking. I don't think every single guy just wants to. Well, yeah, because you have that attraction. There's an attraction that builds. No. Not every. Okay, we're talking about specific guys. Specific personality guys. They have this personality that has a tendency to do these things.
But
So it's not. We're not generalizing. My gosh.
all the guys that are put in the friend zone, they more or less have at one time or another used the trust and the affection. Can we agree with that? Agree on that? That they used it to get what they think they're going to get? Because I know a lot of guys that do that. Oh, you just cry on my shoulder as long as you know where that shoulder is, you know, comes from. You know, don't forget me with that the shoulder.
Try on that shoulder, and I'll just maybe try and get a grope in on the boob while you're at it.
Right. And it says this way, you know, because it's not about the girl, it's about them. You know, this way it absolves them from any responsibility for the situation that he finds himself in. says it isn't his fault that he's bitter and resentful. It's her fault. You know what I mean? You led me on. And I love
not all the time, though. I mean, there's times like when you can be very, very clear about your intentions, and the other person, like with my situation, I mean, it got to the point where, I mean, he would say things, and I would tell him, "Don't ever say that again. You cannot say that to me again."
Right.
And I mean,
yeah, don't do that.
Yeah. So I mean, there are times when it's both parties where you, but see, I think women naturally have a flirtatious side to them, and even when they're just being nice, guys take it as no. I think it's just naturally there. I'm sorry, women just have an. I think guys take us being nice and treating them like they're really special as a flirtatious thing when there's parts of us. I mean, we know when we're being flirtatious. And I mean, so guys just take a lot of things differently, and once their emotions get involved, then that's it.
Well, that's the thing, Alex. You're not supposed to get involved with sisters.
I know.
Yeah, that's the other friend zone. That's a you do not go in.
Alex, you know, if her sister liked you, then go with the sister.
Hey,
Plain and simple.
You don't do that.
I like to avoid them both. That's a good one there.
Yeah, you don't do the family thing. You don't do the family thing.
No.
But I really do love this guy because, I mean, he really tells it like it is.
So read the parts that you read to me.
Okay, it says, it's all her fault that now he's now forced, and he gets forced, I tell you, to be an asshole against his will, and to unleash his cynicism. The faces of the young, more attractive women he's now compelled to seek out. Now, tell me that's not part of what goes on when you're put in the friend zone. I mean, of course it's the woman's fault that you're an asshole. She made you be an asshole. How many times have we heard that? Yeah, well, if she hadn't led me on, I wouldn't be an asshole, right? That's what, and he goes, of course, when, of course, when a nice guy dumps this kind of screen online, he's doing it so knowing that there will be other nice guys out there eager to pat him on the back and commiserate about how evil women are and how much it sucks that nice guys like them can't get a break. And he goes, after all, the internet loves a nice guy done wrong story and witnesses the ongoing love for the patron saint of nice guys.
That is true. I saw that a friend of mine back in Michigan posted this meme. It said, "Good girls always ask, where are all the good men at?" Right. And they said, right in the friend zone, where you left them in the friend zone, where you went out with all these assholes.
And this is where I got, the Ducky thing, because I got it from you, that girl, and I also got it from him, because he goes, fucking Ducky. John Hughes knew not what he wrote when he unleashed his creation upon the world. What we're talking about is, if you've ever seen the classic 80s movie, Pretty in Pink, you know who Ducky is.
Yes.
That's where this friend zone came first. That's the first time I ever heard that phrase, the friend zone.
Yeah.
And figured I'd just call this the Ducky syndrome,
Mm-hmm.
I
have seen it. I've seen it over a friend's house.
Right. If ever get a chance to see it, you will
Yeah,
have
John Cryer, Andrew McCarthy, and Andrew Dice Clay. He's in there as well.
because you will absolutely know what I'm talking about when And I mean, this guy just goes on and on. Huh?
I know. I'm like, that's
Hey, hey. I know somebody not.
No, we really have to get through this article because it gets to the point where you guys are going to be like, okay, we know where this fits into this show.
Not only end up in the friend zone, but you will end up in the twilight. That's a promise.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Let me add a little something here and I'm going to try to somewhat play devil's advocate. Looking from the guy's point of view, you got to remember that a lot of the guys that are in the friend zone are unable to get women of their own until, of course, later on after the whole conflict and bullshit. But feel that they're always by themselves. They don't really have no one. They're basically lonely. They're looking for someone, and of course, here comes this gal pal that's only likes him as a friend, but yet he doesn't care because the reason why because he's lonely. He's by himself. And a lot of people I've known were like that. There was this one guy that I met that I talked about on another podcast. He was like trying to pick up every other guy's girlfriend because he didn't have one of his own. And no matter how many these girls told him, I only like you as a friend, I only like you as a friend, he tried hitting up on my girlfriend when she was still alive, a few times by my back, but eventually he was one of them lonely as fuck guys that really wanted someone by his side. Maybe deep down inside, they don't want to be alone. They just don't want to admit it. They got to have that macho, they got to be macho 24/7 because that's how society projects.
This isn't catfishing, guys. This is a whole different thing.
No, catfishing is completely.
No, this is a whole different subject, Adam.
Oh yeah. But it says the guy is busy getting back pats for unleashing torrents of butt hurt. There's a woman out there who's feeling confused and hurt when she found out that someone she trusted, someone she thought she could confide in and rely on, was wondering how long he was going to have to put up with this emotional shit before she let him get to second base. Now, understand what he's saying there? That it's not only the guy that's butt hurt. There's also the other side of that, of the girl that, thinking, is that the only reason why you were my friend? Is because...
No, of course, yeah.
And it even goes on to say, as horrible as the woman's betrayal, quote unquote, may be for the nice guy, it's worse for the person he's been lying to. And it says, she's not the one who accepted the offer of friendship under the false pretense. Whose honest response of, I don't feel that way about you, is met with a torrent of abuse. And that's happened a lot, I've seen. In person and online. She allowed herself to
act out.
Huh?
They act out and they throw a temper tantrum because they're hurt.
Right. But they don't, like you said, they don't consider what the other side is going through. You guys might want to say how hurt the girl has made you. But
yeah, but they're doing it to hurt you because you've hurt them. And that's very, very true. But they're doing it on purpose too.
Right.
Oh, that's terrible.
Hey.
Bailey? Now I'm thinking of you as a quote nice guy.
Oh,
That's
God.
a quote nice guy thing to do. Now you're in trouble.
This is his final warning to these quote unquote nice guys. He does have a warning, a final warning for that, by the way. It says that,
No,
the
the article.
No, the article. He does have a bit of advice for guys that it should be. He said, the person that's given support while she's, called a dumb, castrating bitch, who deserves the misery she will surely get when she realizes how much of a prize she missed out on. How many of you guys have honestly, if you're honest with yourselves, how many times have you said that to yourself or to your friends? Oh, she don't know what she's missing, She'll be sorry. Have you or have you not said that?
They all have. We all have. We all have. Believe me.
And it says, to prove it, he goes, the nice guy's self-involvement denies the fact that somebody else has been hurt in this self-inflicted drama, and she's been cast as the villain through no fault of her own. Do you guys understand that when somebody puts you in the friend zone, it's okay to be hurt?
Of course it is.
Just remember that on that other side is a girl that truly gave you friendship, and she's hurting. Does that make sense?
Yes, of course it makes sense. But the guy's not thinking about that.
I give up.
They're thinking about what they want and what they need, and what they want and need has been rejected, and they're upset because, basically, and especially when that guy grew up learning, seeing everybody hook up just like that. This guy basically they grew up seeing this: I offer, you accept. And they see everybody else follow that line, whether it's their parents or their neighbor's parents or their grandparents. They see that all the time, and basically, they get the idea that this is how it's supposed to be. But they don't really know that maybe the reason why the woman is still with this guy is because she deep down wants to get away from the guy, but she has nowhere to go, so she be trapped. Or the grandparents, then maybe the grandma wants to get away from grandpa because, he's an old senile, old asshole, and he's in there. She would like to go out and go to China someday, or go to Iceland, or go travel to South America, but she can't because she's with old Grumpy McPeters over here.
Right. And keep in mind, guys, that it was not a woman that wrote this article. It was a guy. So this is all coming from a guy who understands about the rejection. Because he even says, I get that rejection hurts. He goes, I've been rejected more times than I can ever count. And it says that the side note is that there are people out there who are users and manipulators, and the fact that assholes exist does not change the fact that the nice guy is the quote-unquote nice guy, okay, is a shitty person who's trying to hold on to a friendship only so he can fuck somebody. Because I say this as someone who has been the nice guy several times.
They can be jealous.
And I
too.
can explain that reason why.
They want you all to themselves.
Yeah, and I can explain why. The fear of being, cast aside when they find somebody else. When the lady, this happened to me about 1991, 92. A dear friend of mine named Lori. We used to see the band Seduce back in Detroit many times. We were big fans of this group. We saw other bands like Rights of the Accused. We saw the Dickies play one time at a place called Blondies. We were we were tight. We were buzzed. We went to parties together at such and such. I drove her to this place. We drove to the Token Lounge to see Seduce's final performance. Then later on, she got with this guy, and then they met at a Testament concert. They started, they were, next thing you know, they were hooked up. They were boyfriend and girlfriend. But however, me, who didn't have a girlfriend, who was always single by myself because I wasn't what they wanted, if you know what I'm talking about. They basically wanted.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, what happened?
I don't know.
I didn't know. For
Uh-oh.
Oh.
I'm here.
It
Yeah,
says,
Ben back.
To most people, friendship is an awesome thing, which, we've always said. I'd much rather have a friend than a piece of ass. You know what I mean? But these guys don't see that because he says exactly the same as my philosophy. Close friends are your family by choice. You choose that. You support them. But to nice guys, this isn't a friendship. He said, this is going above and beyond, at least when a friend is involved, gives you boners and politely ignores it when she catches you staring at her tits, things like that. But it says, the nice guy wants extra credit and applause for doing what anyone else would think of as part of being a friend. And he goes, as my mom has said to me more than once, if you want applause for doing your job, learn to fucking juggle. I love that quote. It says, so treating the friendship as a crappy substitute says everything about how much the nice guy really values the woman he professes to care about. And a lot about himself. Just as women aren't obligated to fall in love with you just because you really want it, neither are you forced to stick around if that's not what you want. And it says it may be a little cold-blooded to say, no, thank you, that is not the relationship I want with you. But it's a damn sight better, more respectful and honest than sticking around because you're willing to put up with it in exchange for the vague chance of something happening. You never want to do that because the only thing that's going to do is grow resentment. I don't know if that's ever happened to you guys. I can feel when that happens sometimes. In resentment, it's a terrible thing. It's a waste.
Is.
I don't know. I've never.
Brazil can eat you up.
What was that, Sam?
I said I've never been put in the friend zone.
No. I'm not saying in the friend zone, but I put people in the friend zone, and the resentment because they won't say, okay, I don't want this. We can part ways, but they'll stay just on that slightest chance I might change my mind. And then they learn.
Most of the time.
Most
of the time they get very vindictive and they run, like you said.
Right. Yeah, and even says it's just self-inflicted martyrdom. You're making yourself into a martyr. You know what I mean? In the name of the bullshit idea that attraction and friendship are somehow mutually exclusive. You know, it's guys, don't do that to yourself. You know, if you're honest with each other, with yourself and with each other, you know, if you're doing it on the off chance that you're going to get a piece of ass, don't do it. Cut your ties then. You know, cut ties, cut the line. And let me see. I'm trying to find where the part where he says that. Oh, it says if she's cool enough with you for you to want to sleep with her, odds are good that she's cool enough to be an awesome friend too. And if that's all that it's going to be, then that's fine. There will be other women who are just as awesome, and she may well be the one to introduce you to them. So keep that in mind, guys, before you paint her as a captivating bitch. She may have hot friends to introduce you to.
Yeah, you gotta keep that in mind, guys. Who knows?
If she's awesome enough for you to think that, I know I do. I surround myself with people like me.
Mm-hmm.
So you always have to do that. You always gotta, make sure that, she may introduce you to the love of your life. You never know.
No,
who knows? Yeah.
Hey, think about it. If she's a good friend of yours, she's gonna know what makes you tick. At least I do. That's I observe, and I kind of figure out what, especially my guy friends, what my guy friends like, and if I see somebody that matches up to that, yeah, I play matchmaker.
Well, yeah, of course, because you know both people, and you know what. I mean, you're not going to set a female friend up with some guy knowing it's not going to work out, or they're not going to at least get along well. That'd be awful.
So, I mean, is there any other thoughts on this topic or anything?
I want to hear the rest of the article because Kitty, you left out everything you read to me earlier, and that was like spot on.
Well, no, I did say a lot of it, though. A lot of this.
The way it was worded, though, there was like 2 or 3 main areas that were like right on.
Yeah, he does go on to say that he spent far more time as a nice guy than he cares to remember. But he goes, I know for a fact that I hurt some people very badly because of the way I treated them, which is another good point to remember, guys. Before you open your mouth, think what you're saying. Because once you say those words and hurt somebody, you can't take it back.
No. And then you're not in the friend zone anymore. You're not going to be friends, and nothing's ever going to go back to the way it was.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And you're stuck. You're stuck without having that friend who, you wanted more with, but you at least could have stayed friends.
Right. Don't make them be, don't let it be a regretful moment that you said, I wish I hadn't said that.
You basically say things out of anger. And when you say things out of anger, nothing ever goes right.
Nope.
It's always a bad thing to do because usually you regret it and you can't take it back.
Right. And trust me, the words hurt far worse and scar more hurtful than any blow that you could ever give to somebody. If you hit somebody
Words will stay forever.
Right. They may feel that pain, and it's going to hurt for a little while, but that pain goes away. If you say something so hurtful, it crushes the heart. Mm-hmm. That lasts forever.
Yeah.
I mean, they're both not a good thing. Obviously, we don't want you guys hitting people, but we're just saying that words, wounds heal on the outside, but emotional is very detrimental.
And trust can be very strong, but at the same time, it's very fragile. It can be broken at a moment's notice. And trust me, it takes it a lot longer to regain trust than it is to earn it.
It's almost impossible to regain trust to the point where it was.
So what sometimes I do is I give the person trust, because it's a lot harder to, keep that trust than it is to earn it. It's far more difficult to retain that trust.
Yeah. So you're saying that you trust people right off the bat?
Sometimes. It depends. I don't do it all the time, but some people I do make work for it.
I have a tendency to trust very, very easily. So
it is a hard thing. It's really hard to keep that trust.
Yeah, and like you said, it's harder so it's easier to give somebody trust and to have them keep the trust with you than I see what you're saying. Okay, right. So the other two parts of that article, especially near the end of the article, I have to hear that as well. These are very important points. Or the parts you read me, didn't you highlight those parts? Those were the...
He did say that he learned.
Has he?
Yes. Right? If you have to ask whether you work for it, then
that was great.
It's something to think about now, isn't it? Because the one thing, I can take a lot of things done to me, but the one thing that I don't forgive, and the quickest way to lose my friendship, is to lie to me.
Oh, yes.
Right. I mean, I'd rather hear the truth
trust.
Than be lied to.
That's
I don't care.
The entire trust issue.
Right. Tell me the truth, no matter how bad it is. You know what I mean?
What did they say? I'd rather be hurt by the truth than pacified by a lie.
Right. Mm-hmm. It just says, I'm trying to look, because this was a long article.
Oh, you read me these two parts that were just perfect. And it just pertained to this evening so well.
And it really is ironic that I just said that, because it says it doesn't take too much to avoid being a nice guy. Just some basic honesty, integrity, a little bit of courage, and the willingness to treat women as people instead of an obstacle course that leads to pussy. Says it's better in general terms, in both the long term and the short term, to be upfront with the person. Then, there's no shame in saying, "Hey, I like you." Who said?
See what happens.
Right. Who says that bearing your soul is going to make you a pussy? You know what I mean?
And do you know what? You can build a deeper friendship like that, because when you share emotions like that, women appreciate that. I mean, if you say something, we appreciate when guys are open with us and willing to discuss emotions and feelings, as long as the man doesn't get obsessed and over the top.
There's something to be said for being a sensitive guy, because women respect that. It doesn't mean that you're a pussy if you're sensitive. It just means that you're more aware.
And most guys have that sensitive side. They're just afraid to show it because they've been taught that it's not a man's thing to do to show their sensitive side.
And he does say there's nothing shameful in wanting to sleep with somebody only in the way you go about it to achieve it. You know, if you're honest with somebody and say, hey, I really like you, I'm not gonna lie, I want to fuck you, I have way more respect for that, as crude as that may be, than somebody that is nice to your face, but behind your back is thinking she's such a bitch, you know?
Oh, I don't think they're thinking that. I think they're. I think most of them have. I think most of them have feelings. They actually think they have real feelings, even though it might not always be real feelings. But like I said, when you treat a guy with, I mean, as females, we're very emotional. So we get emotional and we talk to guys like we would our girlfriends, and we're very open and caring and loving, and we give our all. And I think that sometimes men can take that in a way that's, oh, this person really does care for me. Look at how much she's sharing with me. She's so open with me. And in their mind, it could lead to them thinking we're leading them on when we're just being ourselves and being friends. And that's just normal. I mean, it happens. And most guys will understand and keep it at the friendship and be happy for that. But there are those few that are the so-called nice guys that take it to the extreme and give a lot of men a bad name.
Well, yeah, because like this guy reiterates over and over in this article is that there's a difference between the nice guy that actually does care about how you feel and is your friend, rather than this guy who's doing it just to get something out of it. That really ruins a friendship. You know what I mean?
I mean, basically, just be honest in your friendships. Just be open. I mean, a friendship should be about being open and discussing and having conversations and being able to discuss things. And I mean, like we said, this is a small amount of men do this. I mean, I haven't.
Right. It's
most. I mean, I've had a lot of guy friends in the past, and yeah, most of them will develop feelings, and you very politely say no, and most of them do back away, and they're not my friends anymore. And it is sad. It's always really sad because you consider them really good friends, and then after all that's said, they just pull away and that's it.
Oh, are you talking about this part where he says about the nice guy rants?
Yeah, the nice guy rants. That was a good one.
He goes, seriously, go ahead. Go ahead. I'll wait. And he goes, and you'll see a recurring pattern. She doesn't want a nice guy. She only wants those assholes who treat her bad. She should be dating me. I actually respect her. And he goes, no, son, you really don't. Because that's the lie that these guys tell themselves, is that I'm doing this because I really care about her. She doesn't know what a nice guy I am. Is that what you're talking about there, Sam?
Yeah, I was talking about that one, and then the part where it goes really into the social media, where he explains that.
Oh, yeah.
He says, yeah.
And it's basically what he's saying is basically everybody likes the virtual circle jerk of, oh, dude, yeah, I'm so sorry, you were her friend, and she used you and betrayed you. Come on, dude, give me a hug. That kind of shit. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
So we can pop open a beer and say, yeah, you gave her the best years of your friendship and look what she did to you. Oh, I'm not doubting that at all, John. I know it's hard. I mean,
There's always going to be feelings between
Right.
friends.
It's
There's
friends.
always going to be because you're a female and a male. And
Right.
it's just going to be there some kind of mental or some kind of a bond is going to form. And of
It's
course
hard.
there's going to be, yeah, I understand that part.
When you are around people every day, basically, it doesn't matter whether it's, a lot of people say, oh, well, it's different online than in real life. And I gotta disagree with that, because there are times where I know these guys can absolutely say without a doubt that we talk almost every day. I know I talk to Daddy every day for long periods of time. It's kind of hard not to get feelings, either way, online or in real life. If you are constantly bonding with people over anything, you're going to have that connection.
And that's a good connection to have. It just can't get to the point where there's always going to be one person who has stronger feelings than the other.
Right.
I mean, almost every time you have a friendship between a man and a woman, there's always going to be one person whose feelings are a little bit more than the other. And it's never going to change, and it depends how that person handles those feelings, and if they're willing to take the friendship, or if both parties are willing to move forward and do something about it.
Right, because
I mean, it's all maturity is what it is.
This guy says that, in his mind, by acting like her friend, doing her favors, and spending time with her, and giving her the emotional support, then, if he finds, he just figures that it's not paying off, then he wants to be the raging asshole. So, guys, if you want to give that support, do it, because that's what you want, because she gives that back to you. Don't do it if you're expecting a payout, because, you're not only missing out on a great friend, but you're really destroying, your feelings toward a lot of women if you think that way. Does that make sense? Yeah. Why? What? Really? Wow. Hey, well, yeah, I mean,
A tag team.
This is like the girl.
I'm just on somebody now for a while because, there were, like I said, there were times where I was in the friend zone. So I'm trying to, and there were times I felt frustrated and angry. And in the past, so it's absorbing what Kitty and Sammy are talking about, just trying to get their perspective,
Yeah.
Right. And it is natural to feel like protective over some.
And then you know what happens after that, Bailey. After that, you're not able to tell her the truth about the guy, because then you're crossing the line, and she's going to say, oh, you just have feelings for me and you're jealous. So then you cannot be that close friend, which is really sad.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But I mean, it's,
Mm-hmm.
Same thing. It's the same thing. We have to sit back and watch.
Yeah.
the chip call and then be there to pick it up. You know? But I just wanted everybody, I did this thing not to bash on anybody, but to make
We know that, yeah.
right, to make guys realize that being in the friend zone, if you're doing it because you think you're gonna get the girl in the end, not everything is a fairy tale. There are very few fairy tales out there. But
it's actually very special for a guy to be in the friend zone.
Right, because
I mean, it really is, because girls are very particular about who they well, I know I am, and I'm sure Kitty is too, who you trust and who you let in and who you're willing to be friends with.
Right, because if you're in my friend zone, that means I'm going to, it's guaranteed. I'll do anything for you guys,
Exactly.
Oh, funny, John. I knew that was coming about anything. I would. If you guys, if any of you guys knew me, I would give the shirt off my back if somebody needed
I got some flyers.
it.
You're naked now, Kitty?
Get away. Get away.
Are you naked right now, Kitty?
I thought everybody knew that.
Oh, you got to know.
I hate clothes. They're like, makes me sweat.
That's what I.
Okay, so see,
that's the kind of girl I need in the future. Someone who's naked, some girl that'll be naked for me 24/7.
I am the slave, Sam. Remember that I am the slave. That's slave.
But if you think about it, I mean, like when I had Jamie on the call and he was in the bathtub, and everybody freaked out. Oh my God, we have a naked guy on the line. You had to speak with someone nude. And then if Kitty's naked, we're all like, I kind of like that idea. Bailey, are you?
Sleep well.
Am I talking to a bunch of naked guys?
Good night to Adam. It's like late for him.
I'm so sorry. I'm picturing Bailey playing with his equipment in the nude. Oh, that's where you should be playing with your equipment. What are you doing with clothes on?
Thank you.
I'm sorry, Kitty. What did you say? Say that one more time, Kitty.
No. It's everything.
All right, later on, Dr. S.
Yes, see, because he does. I really do appreciate him staying up because it is late for him. On Sunday.
Oh, I was like, I wasn't aware of an announcement.
Right, because I'm more relaxed on Sundays. I think we should do tonight. I think we should do it on Sundays like we do tonight. I mean,
no, we made the announcement. It's a double feature tonight. What's going on tonight?
Double feature? Uh-huh.
It's like the drive-in. You go for two for one.
hiccups.
It's just like the drive-in. Kitty's naked.
Oh, see? That was a great correlation. Oh, Bailey.
You know, it's like I never got to see any. I had to, you know, I had to see it on cable or Netflix or the videotape when it came out. I never saw the movie. I never saw the end. I know. I'm thinking, what else can we talk about? I mean, if you guys heard Super Ugly, I thoroughly enjoyed Super Ugly.
I did. I listened to it at work today. Yep.
Oh my God. I have to say, Rocky has a new fan in me about rants. Oh.
Yeah, he's been doing
rants.
that a lot lately. You know what? You want to really blame him? No.
Because if anybody has seen Tommy NC's thing about where he goes and talks to a homeless man.
Yeah, I remember. They talked about that on Joe's Monetize's show. Monetize program.
But, he wants to ask, I don't know whether it's a plant. It felt a little plantish to me, but he goes and asks a homeless guy, are you happy about being homeless? Now, my first thought, and I put it in the chat, was what the fuck is wrong with Tommy?
I know.
I think
no guy is happy about being homeless. No. I think the last thing they want to be is homeless. I think they would love to be inside of a shelter or anything like that. It's kind of pretty obviously dumb question to ask.
And I do think it was a plant because the guy said, well, give me money. Now, not all homeless people, trust me, I have actually, unlike Tommy, I've actually volunteered at shelters. They all aren't bums looking for money, by the way. Uh-huh. And I really didn't, he really needs to go down and not have his friends portray homeless people. He needs to go down and volunteer at a shelter so he can, get to know real homeless people. They're just like us. In fact, one of the things that somebody had told me was, and it still is with me to this day, is that these people told me that the only difference between you and I is a few missed paychecks. He goes, everybody, is just a few missed paychecks from being out on the street. And it's true. That's right. It's really easy. And
I've been there. Luckily, I could afford the budget suites, the weekly suites with my kids. Right. So it is just a few missed paychecks.
That is, because, and let me tell you guys, it's not the bum on the corner anymore. It's families.
Yeah.
People with kids.
That's true. We've seen them many times before. Please help me and my wife. We're stuck on here. We're trying to support our kids and stuff. We've seen it many times.
Right. Yes, there are some. I'm not going to lie to you. There are some, con men out there. So you do have to.
Yes, that happened to me one time. That actually happened to me back in the early '93 after I visited the memorial, for Malice Green, a guy that was killed by 4 Detroit cops in November of the previous year. They had a big rally up there, and You know, I checked out the area and stuff like that. Listen to what the speaker was trying to speak. He said, you know, if you want to help, that's good, but it's our problem, you know, a black issue as well, because black on black violence was a big thing back then as well. Still is in a lot of ways. And so I went to Mickey D's, you know, give me some chow. And then this guy has said, like, can you help me with I'm trying to get this special, I'm trying to get this. So I gave him a couple bucks. As I got in the car, he's going to the liquor store across the street. It's like, what the fuck?
You know how
and I stopped.
Back in the early 90s, when they were huge, I had a baseball card shop. And we had some pinball machines, video games. The wife would be out on the street panhandling. Oh, I'm hungry. My kids are hungry. She'd come in, give the husband the money. He'd just plunk it in a pinball machine.
Yeah. You know how you suck
that jaded me right there.
You don't give them the money. What I used to do when somebody asked me for money, I would say, look, I'm not going to give you the money, but you tell me what you need and I'll give it.
Mm-hmm. That on the chat. Say, don't give them money, buy them something to eat. If they don't want something to eat, that's what the money is. Their attention starts showing right there.
Yeah, I've seen both sides. I've gone in and bought people food. Yep. There was a couple, and they wanted something from a corner store. They were starving, so I brought them in and let them pick out a sandwich, and they were. I mean, a sandwich was like too much. They were like, "Oh, it's too much. Let's get something less." And I'm like, "No, get some food for the day. You guys need food for the day." And I could help them out, but I've also seen the other side where people are asking for money, and then I've seen them get into a car and drive away, a really nice car. And they're out there just panhandling because these people, there's some of them that can make $300 to $400 a day, depending on where they are in Vegas, and we hear stories all the time. If you're on a good corner, my God, I mean, who really makes that much? I don't make that much.
I'm gonna open up for you guys. I've been on both sides. I mean, you know, one of the things I've always said to people when they say, "Oh, you know, homeless people, those bums," I said, "Would you know if a homeless person was right next to you?" Because trust me, they're not what you think they are. They're not the stereotypical, because to look at me, would you ever know that I was one of them?
No.
Right. No. I mean, it's, the Phil Collins song, Just Another Day in Paradise. It's true.
Yeah.
It's like you, me, you wouldn't know. So for Tommy to plant his friends and to have him, have them ask him for money so he can say, "I don't have any." No, it's shameful. He's ashamed of himself. And that's the first time I've ever spoken against him like that. But come on, dude. That's not fun. That's not funny. It's not just rude. It's not even politically correct. But it's, you do not like people talking about how, about autism and things like that. But, don't exploit people's unfortunate things for your views. If you want to do it to help them, then by all means do it. But don't do it for video. Do it because, I do it and, nobody would even know I have helped them.
Did he give them money? Did he do anything for them, or did he just go out there and exploit them?
I don't even think it was real homeless people. I think it was his friends pretending to be, which is really...
Oh, no. I didn't listen to this, and this is really sad to me. I mean, this is ridiculous.
If you
I only heard about this on that one episode of Monetize This. It was the one that it was the same one that I heard it on with the same thing where he was talking about his boy Hamza's kids, calling them fat. He's calling them assholes and that. And boy, and when he did that, he also got tons of massive heat for both those things.
I've never said anything bad about you, Tommy, but come on, dude.
Dude.
Act like you got some sense because, do things out of the goodness of your heart and not because you think you're going to get views, because that's not going to get you.
Yeah, but if you're going to do like I was mentioning Ken on, one time, he said if you're going to get views, if you're going to get recognition, if you're going to get reaction, do it for the right reasons.
Right. Do it out of the goodness of your heart. Because these people don't give, excuse my language, they don't give a fuck about your views. All it's about is the kindness of people shown to them.
Yeah.
And trust me, it goes a long way.
Mm-hmm.
Enough about my rant. Because there are just certain things that are very close to my heart, and to see somebody use people like that, it's bullshit to me. I just don't care for it. Because that's not going to, not that I'm over religious or anything, but that's not going to get you into heaven. You do it for yourself. Because trust me, God don't care about views.
Exactly.
It's a good deed.
See what guys? I gotta throw this in there. I was listening to a program about years back when I was living in Richmond, Michigan, and they were talking about some of the people that are homeless having mental illnesses, and those yeah. And I guess some of them are soft and abandoned by their families and friends because of the simple fact that they cannot handle anyone with a mental illness because it frustrates the living fuck out of you.
You know what they do? It's called compassionate release. They do it all the time in these institutions because a lot of the homeless have been institutionalized. Mm-hmm. They're not all drug addicts. They're not all drunks.
Yeah.
No, they are mentally ill. And they have let out of the only place that has ever taken care of them
was
themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys...
Seriously? That's what they call it?
Mm-hmm. Compassionate release.
To me, that sounds like euthanasia.
Nope. That's what they do.
Okay.
I mean, if you think about it, they think they do the same thing to, Well,
wasn't it Reagan that defunded a lot of this shit, and they had to release them?
I don't get into politics. I really don't. But I mean, I don't blame just Democrats or Republicans or anything like that. I blame America. I blame American. I blame me. You know what I mean? I blame all of us because we are our brother's keeper. No matter what anybody wants to say about that, we are. If we don't look out for our brothers, who is?
Mm-hmm.
We are. I mean, if we can't look, we should not be looking out for somebody way across, the other side of the world. We need to look. We need to take care of
ourselves.
Yes.
First.
Yeah.
Before we worry.
If we focused on the homeless, I mean, think about how many are homeless. I mean, you're talking in the, I don't know, it's thousands and thousands and thousands of people right now. And they really have no means to get on their feet. They really don't.
You know why?
I mean,
nobody wants to have the shelters.
Well, the shelters, there's not enough shelters.
Exactly.
There's not enough shelters.
I mean, I
Also,
remember there were a lot of times in the back in Detroit. You could drive off, go off, get off at the exit on by say 94 or I-75, and you can see a couple, one or two people with signs saying, "Please help me. I have nothing, such and
Right.
such." Oh, blah blah blah. And there were a couple times where there's people right there, and a couple times down in downtown Houston, right by Louisiana Avenue, coming back from from a venue. You see a lineup of homeless people sleeping in the bags on the street.
yeah.
And let me tell you,
In Vegas, we have an epidemic of people living in the tunnels in our sewers under the city. And my
Wow.
brother's friend actually, he wrote a book. He went down and interviewed these people. And a majority of them are Vietnam vets who have
Right.
been discarded by the government. They're mentally ill and nobody's helping them.
a lot of them.
Yeah, but isn't that dangerous? Really dangerous down there? Don't you guys get flash floods that just?
They have like safeguards built where they actually build they take wood and they'll build it high up in the wall and they'll know the sound when it starts. The rain, I mean they have it down to a T where they've been in the sewers for so long that they know when it's going to flood and they all have to obviously evacuate, but they lose most of what they gather. So
They're on.
I mean
Yeah,
I just
exactly all
remember
their
seeing it on
belongings.
CSI one time that they were talking about that. How many people?
There's
how many
many
homeless
deaths.
people die down there
Yeah.
for the flash floods?
That's
here,
that's risky.
yeah. Here we have,
Terrible.
and in Maryland, where I'm from, they had tent cities in the woods, and the shelter that I was helping with, and I had been in the summertime. That's good. I'm saying that's a lot of the vets, like you said, a lot of people would stay out in their tents because, that's better than being inside for some of them. But in the wintertime, like in the summer, they would have, like, it was in like a church and in the school, you could stay there. They would have it so they would stay for like 2 or 3 weeks. But in the wintertime, it was horrible because I've seen these people. They would stay at one place for like a week and then or 2 weeks, and then the next time they would have to go to this place for 2 weeks. You know what I mean? That is very hard, especially if you have children. You can't have a schedule or routine for them if you have to move every 2 weeks in the wintertime.
And then you realize most of these shelters are either only female or only male. So,
Right.
I mean, the
This
families are split apart.
This one was really good that they kept the families together because
Yeah.
it was run by Catholics.
hmm
But I mean, I learned a lot by not only being there but actually volunteering when I was one of the lucky ones that got myself a place and a job, and I gave back. I came back and I gave back to that because I've always, I don't believe in paying back, but I believe in paying it forward to somebody else because somebody else gave me a helping hand. So, I don't look at it as them looking for a hand out because most of them don't want a hand out. Most of them want a hand up. And I'll always be happy to do that. My hand's always, open to giving a hand up. So just remember, guys, that not all of them on the street are begging money. They're not all con artists. A lot of them are. They truly do need your help. Yes.
Along the ones back in the northern states who had to do this, or got to try to struggle each day from day in the winter time.
Right,
Yeah,
that is the face of homelessness. It's not just a magazine, title. It is the new face. It's not the bums on the street that are looking for handouts for liquor and things. It's the kids.
Yeah.
Just remember that next time you go.
And let me add this to say, folks, let me say this. Before you tell that person, get a job, get a one, tell them where they can find one. Because one of the reasons I left Detroit was because there was hardly any work. I mean, remember, I was out of work for a year and a half before I went to a temp service. And that was months before I moved down here to Texas.
Yeah, guys, don't forget, before you say get a job, remember they might have had one and they lost it, because that is happening all over.
There was
the economy
layoffs the past couple of years. There was tons of layoffs. I hope not. I hope. I'm praying right now as I say this that the city of my hometown of Detroit is getting themselves back up on their feet, or let alone on their knees, because it was really bad. I mean, there was homeless people there everywhere. There was no place was hiring. No matter which bar or which restaurant or which grocery store that I applied in, they're always saying, "Oh, we'll call you when we're ready. We'll call you when we need someone," and they never call. And plus, every gas station, every convenience store, even at the bus stop or this place, there was always people signing up to get free phones and shit, and people gobbling up because it's free and shit, but there's only a so-and-so amount of minutes, very low minutes, 200 hours worth of talk on this signing each month, fuck that, shit.
I mean, you can't even look for work with that.
No.
I mean, it's supposed to be a tool to help you look. But if you look at it, certain cities were hit hardest. Like with Vegas, it was the construction industry on the Strip. And you went from people making $60, $70 an hour to just, that's it, massive layoffs, because construction stopped completely. They put a halt to it altogether.
Not only
so
that,
you go
down south, it was the weather.
There you go. So I mean, there's reasons for these cities that have had the biggest falls, like Detroit probably had a specific industry that was doing really well, and then that industry crashed. And I mean, the reason it was so hard to find work was there were so many thousands looking for work.
I know Flint, Michigan was hit the worst when the GM closed their plants and
there you go.
Michigan. Oh man, it was like, and from what I have a Facebook friend on who lives there, and she said it hasn't really been the same. People got attitudes up there, so it's like it's sad, It's really sad.
Well, it's very hard when you go from being so well off, and like you said, that was the car industry, and that's what it's known for. So Detroit was the car industry that crashed, and everything went. Here it was the construction that crashed, and everything went. Yeah. And I mean, I mean, the suicide rates went up because people were, making, what was it, $70 an hour, then they're making nothing. I mean, you can't support your family all of a sudden. Your security's taken away.
Right.
Your whole security.
You lose your job.
Yeah.
You lose your house. You lose everything.
You can't pay rent. You can't pay the bills. You can't pay the bills. You lose your house.
Trouble. Yeah.
You're out on the street.
Yeah. It happens very quickly, and it happens to everyday people. Everyday people that.
All I say, guys, is be thankful that if you do have a job.
Yeah.
And that it may not be the best.
Still keep the damn thing. Don't do something to get yourself thrown out on the street or anything like that, because It is rough. It
Right,
is.
Yeah.
It may not be the best roof you have over your head, but at least you have some, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the only thing I'm gonna say to Tommy is next time he wants to do something like that, why don't you actually sit down with an actual homeless person and share a meal with them? You may learn something.
Or buy.
He's not going to go through the trouble.
Right.
In
You
fact,
know what I'm
use
saying?
how about using the money from that GoFundMe shit to do some of that?
You know.
Remember the GoFundMe so he could go to Playlist Live and then he announces that he won't be able to because of not enough funds. He can use some of those funds to feed the homeless in his area.
And I do.
Yeah, nice to give something to charity. That would have been a nice gesture.
I do want to thank Rocky for giving me that, this idea, because your rant was spot on. You brought up a lot of points. So I do thank you guys. You know I love you guys on the Super Ugly Show.
Yeah.
You know?
As props up to you, Ricky.
Hey.
I mean, Richie, Rocky, John. You guys. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, but
I really do want them. I would love to have them hop on the show.
Yeah,
good. They really are.
It's a pretty good show, man. I've that. Foul
I've
Mouth,
never listened to him.
Podcast, all those guys, all that was from Super Ugly. Definitely. So props to you guys. Cheers. All right.
Yeah, the reason I did for it